did I know that was going to happen? Lord. It's going to happen. I don't know when y'all start the timer, but I have been biting nails and crying and everything. It's only 7 minutes of time, but Jesus, he's been really dealing with me on this thing. So, all right. So we were each given a common topic for discussion today, which is heart vision. And God has uniquely signed each one of us with a purpose and a vision. So as I began to pray and really meditate on this subject, the Lord just kept bringing me back to the story of Mary and Martha. For the past few months, I've been staying really busy. I've been taking on the role of caretaker. Starting in February, my sister went to jail, and she has a now three-year-old daughter, and my mom and I kind of had to take on the role of co-custodian while she was away. And so I would have Macy for the day, for about 10 hours a day, and then my mom would pick her up in the evenings and take her back home, and she would have her on the weekends, and we would go back and forth, and I would be driving to Jacksonville. It would be like an hour drive every day, and taking care of a toddler is hard, especially when you haven't done it in a really long time. My son's 15, so, it's like, whew, it's a refresher. And then also my mom, a couple weeks ago, she had to have a revised hip replacement surgery. She had it a year ago, and things just went really bad, went downhill with that. So she had to have it redone. She's doing really well now, but she came to our house for recovery for a week. And, I just really had to take care of Macy, and then wanted to take care of my mom. And I love Macy, and I miss her now that she's not with me all the time. She's back with her mama, which is a good thing. She needs to be with her mama. But, I miss seeing her, and I miss my mom being with me all the time, too, because that's my mama, and I love her. I enjoy being able to take care of people, and I love being hospitable to others, and I really feel like God has purposed me for that kind of thing, and that's kind of like what my signature is. God has called me and purposed me to be a loving wife and a mother, and he's purposed me to care for your kids and prevail, and I'm so thankful. So I really feel I really feel like Martha and I have a lot in common in this aspect. I'm going to read out of Luke 10, starting in verse 38. As Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet, listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She came to him and asked, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do all the work by myself? Tell her to help me." "Martha, Martha," the Lord answered, "you are worried and upset about many things, but only one thing is needed. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her." So in some contexts, it doesn't say worried, it reads anxious. And the Greek word here, anxious, is from the Greek word, let's see if I pronounce it right, merimneo. And it means anxiety or a state of restlessness that deeply disturbs and disrupts the tranquil state of mind and disturbs your personality and your actions. Jesus goes on to say, you are upset. The word for upset here is turbaz, which is a state of being in a noisy, surging crowd that closes in on you. Martha's God-given gift of serving is no longer from a place of trust and rest. It's become chaotic. In hindsight, I've allowed myself to get so busy and trying to do everything just right and taking care of people in my house and, making sure everything's okay, that it becomes chaotic rather than finding my rest in him. And then I allow myself to become completely exhausted afterwards, that in my downtime, I don't want to do any. It's for Jesus, because he says, if you do for the least of these, you're doing them as unto me. I don't want to be so busy doing things for him that I'm not spending any time with him. Sometimes service to Christ becomes mere busy work rather than being a full devotion to God. And he kept bringing me back to this story of Mary and Martha. A long time ago, a guy prophesied to me, and it's always kind of resonated really particularly recently. He said, God is telling me that he wants you to be a little bit more like Mary and not so much like Martha. And I was kind of like, then, because I was really digging into the Bible and everything back then, but it's really resonated in my soul lately. I can continue my servitude, but not neglect my guest, who is Jesus. And I feel like not only am I the one dealing with this, I mean, I feel like in my spirit there's a lot of people, whether you be a man or a woman, you get busy and you just let the day-to-day get in your way. Jesus said in verse 42, you are worried and upset about many things, but only one thing is needed. He is what I need about many things any of us need. How can we possibly fulfill our purpose and our calling if we're not finding our rest in Him? He knows the plans He has for us, plans for a hope and for a future. And He is my hope. He is my future. And He's the one that gets me through the day to the day. And He's placed this stamp on each and every one of us. And I just really feel if you will fully devote yourself to Him, and if I will fully devote myself to Him, trust Him and find our rest in Him, there's nothing better than that. And He'll take care of you through everything. So, okay.